Today is day 239 of the year of streaming and learn to code. We are continuing on here at CODEWARS. Little cat, oh my god. You totally moved the mic by quite a lot, actually. Let's get that back into place. That's gotta be mostly right. I'd think so. Who knows? It's gotta be close. Yeah. Although she's probably gonna move it out of the way again. So, continuing on. Are we continuing from CODEWARS? That's a tough call. Yes. Although we're continuing through CODEWARS, since we've hit the 50% point, halfway through level 6, we have some katas that we've skipped, and we're going to go ahead and fill in some of those blanks. New, most completed, followed by level 6, and fundamentals. Rust. I wonder what Rust is. Obviously, it's a language of some sort, but I've yet to encounter Rust. Okay, so most completed, level 6, fundamentals. I think we're going to work our way up from filling in the gaps. No, cat, I was not trying to scratch her face. Wow, super purry. She is just into it right now. We made it to your order, please. Equal sides of an array. No. Upwards. Playing with digits. We're just going to work our way up. So, doesn't even matter if we like it or not. Hey, cat, what are you doing? Don't mind me. Oh my god. Hold on. We've got kitty issues. She's being stupid and destroying things. Holy hell. Oh my god. Don't mind me. This is just atrocious. Dear Lord, little cat. She's like the destroyer of worlds. Alright. Much better. There we go. Are we back into action? I think we are. Ugh. Okay. We found a Kata. We now need to do something with it. So playing with digits. We've encountered playing with digits before. Oh dear God. Let's do this. Some numbers have funny properties. For example, 89, 8 to the power of 1 plus 9 squared is 89 times the power of 1. 695, 6 to the power of 2, 9 to the power of 3, 5 to the power of 4, 1390, 695 times 2. Yeah, all that good stuff. 46, 288, 43, 64, not 43, 4 cubed, 6 to the 4th, 2 to the 5th, 8 to the 6th, 8 to the 7th. We get this hideous thing. And apparently, times 51. I don't get how that happens. Given a positive integer n, written as ABCD being digits, and a positive integer p, we want to find a positive integer k if it exists, such as the sum of the digits of n taken to the successive power of p is equal to k plus n. In other words, is there an integer k such as a to the power of p, b to the power of p plus 1, c to the power of p plus 2, d to the power of p plus 3, so on and so forth, which would be n times k. Yet again, I feel like this right here is something that we would drop into the if statement. If whatever all this equals, like n, like n for the length of n and I, and then we can do a second for loop for j for the power. And if that equals n times k, but I think we need to iterate through k. Anywho, not important. If this is the case, we will return k. If not, return -1. Note, np will always be given as strictly positive integers. Fair enough. Let's do this. There's no going back. There is only doom in our future. And hopefully a little bit of success. Dig pow? Oh. Digit and power level. To the power of, right? Exponents and all that good stuff. Not right. Left. Left. You self-affirming bastard. Good. 89, 1. So they give 2 parameters. I thought I had to guess somehow. This is far less daunting than I thought this would be. They give us all the cool stuff we need to know here. And this. I thought this was going to be a huge nightmare. I say that now. We haven't even tried solving it yet. But we get to try now. So, now knowing it was in all of this was the part that seemed straightforward. This was the bit that confused me. I didn't know where the hell they found the times 51. I thought that was extremely odd. So I thought I was going to have to guess and check and do like a for or a while loop and keep multiplying until it hits it. And if it never does, then we have to cancel. I don't know. It seemed like a freaking nightmare. But the fact that it's just the second parameter, crisis averted. Alright, so with that said, fingers crossed, what would a Steven do in this situation? I mean, if we found a wild Steven roaming in a parking lot and we were to give it this parameter, or this function, what would they do to solve it? Our first step would be poke them with a stick. And next would be to take n and do something with it. So n is just a number. Can we split a number? Is it a string? Is it a digit? JavaScript split digit? That seems weird. Math. JavaScript number split into individual digits. Stack Overflow. Regular expressions. Maybe even Code Academy. Let's see. Let's get weird. Let's find out. Just a for loop, really? That's how they're gonna. That's their suggestion. Trying to solve a math problem. 45 or 11, and then split it into digits. 4, 5, 1, 1, 1. I'll then save each number to a variable to run a method on. Does anyone know how to split a number with individual digits? Variable number, output, S number, number to string. Oh, we turn it into a string, and then we loop through. Fascinating. What a clever fix. Why don't we just turn it into an array? Is there a benefit to turning it into a string? Hold on. Is there a benefit to turning the number into a string versus an array? Also, hold the phone. What the is this? This is the second time. Last night we ran into this. Where you tell it to equal something. You tell the variable length to equal another variable, and then you compare that to this. Why in God's name wouldn't you just make I less than the length? There's got to be some benefit to that. I'm sure there is, but I think it's stupid, and it should be more streamlined. Plus equals 1, output, push, number plus S number, character at I. Yeah, sounds dumb. They are turning it into an array. I'm an idiot. I jumped the gun. I saw toString, threw everything out the window. That's not the case at all. They're turning it into a string so they can process it with a for loop, and then they're pushing it to an array. It is becoming an array. Okay, I'm just a fool. Calculating sum. 0 sum equals, that's stupid, equals output I, something or other, outputs blankety blankety blank. Variable number, toString, split. Yeah, digits, that's what I'm thinking. I like this. So the main thing is the string part, toString, and then digits. So that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and do that. Do we want to do regular expressions? Suck for now. toString and split. Who would have known? So variable. Do we turn it into a variable? I'm trying to think if we need this string ever again to reference it as a variable. Normally I'd say we would to loop through it with a for loop, but I just don't think it's needed. Although we do need a variable to store the array in, so this should be named something. This would be digits array. In a less than perfect universe, I think it would be called digits array. toString full of emptiness dot split. Yeah, with nothing to separate them. Let's do return digarray And, what happens here? Yeah, you don't. 89 is an 8 and a 9 and a 2. 4, 6, 2, 8, 8. Very cool. Very cool. Now, something about something else. Now that we have each of them split, we need to do something with those. So we need to take a for loop and for variable I. Do we want it to be variable I? Yes. No? Yes. Variable I equals 0. We start in the beginning. I less than new digit array dot length followed by something or other. Something that rhymes with Stephen, I++. Curly braces, followed by the elusive something or other. We're going to take I, which is an individual thing. For each I think we're going to map stuff here from this point. For I, digit array I for each, we will do dot map. This doesn't feel right. Why are my spidey senses on fire right now? I sense danger. For each one we want to map an exponent to it. But even though we want to map an exponent p to it, we want to p plus blankety 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 blank. P plus blankety 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 blank. You know what? Also, I thought they were giving us 51. I thought for some reason this was the cool special parameter that was being returned in the second. It's not. It's not at all. What they're giving us for the second parameter is where we start the exponents. 1, and then plus 1. And then here it's a 3, so it starts at 3. And then plus 1 brings it to 4, and plus 2 brings it to 5, and so on and so forth. Lies. Full of lies. Map. Okay, so just don't worry about it. It's going to be map plus p, and maybe we can do a for loop inside of that. Can we do a for loop inside of a map? This seems so wrong. So very wrong. For each I. What if we were to just do 2 for loops? For I. For I something or other. For each number, I map P I plus, it's going to be P plus J. P plus J. I map P plus J. I map P plus J. This feels wrong and awful, and everything about it seems terrible, but I map function dig. I don't really like that, but we'll go with that. Semicolon. Return? That doesn't feel right either. Push. Equals. Sum. Variable. Dig. Sum. We'll call it. And then below we'll have an if statement with like an if and dig sum, the equivalent of you get the picture. You get the picture. You know, something about a K. I don't know. Well, N times K. We'll figure it out. It's a dumb idea, but we'll get there eventually. Anywho, so yeah. Jesus, this is gonna get ugly. So digit array I, for each one, we are going to map a function to each value, which is digit, and it will be digit sum. Digit sum. We can do dot push for now, but after we double check dot push, we'll convert it to equals or plus equals. I think plus equals will be more accurate for all the math that will then follow here. So let's go ahead and do something that rhymes with this is bad. Dig sum. Don't lose focus. Dig sum. Just type. We already mentioned it. Digit, not dig. Yes, digit. Dot push digit it's a super death exponent P followed by something. P plus followed by P. So everything is going to get mapped to P. And then from there, can I do another for loop inside of map? This is starting to seem tragic. I don't think this is the right course of action anymore. So for each function, it will be that plus p. Let's see what happens if we return dig sum right now. Okay, they're pissed. Fair enough. I get it. That was a dumb idea. Shit happens. Plus equals? No, that's not cool. Dig sum times p. Yeah, plus equals. Why not? We're this far down the rabbit hole. Maybe map isn't what we want. Maybe map is not what we want. You know what it could be? Is we do the map, but we start it. We do a second loop, but we start it with, instead of 0, we put p there. And we do I++. And then it increments by 1. The first one is by itself. That could almost work. That sounds like a half notch below terrible. So, or above terrible? Really depends on your perspective on life, whether terrible increases or decreases. And frankly, right now at 12:27 a.m. in the morning, I can't tell which direction terrible increases for the worse, whether it increases or decreases. I do know that everything hurts right now. Why is length not blue? What is this? What is that? What the hell is this? Digit array length. That's weird, right? It seems weird. Digit array dot length. Maybe it's because there's no stuff inside. Let's put stuff inside. Something about digit sum or a for loop. For I, we will increment each one. We will get one letter, and then we will do something with another letter. For each I, we will I think it's 2 for loops. First, for each I, we will take that I and do something to it. We will attach the following. We will take digit array I and power it up by p, which will be, see here, I feel like in my mind it looks weird. I feel like it should be j. I do. And I feel like there should be a second for loop, and as strange as this looks, the way I want to see it play out It's just, I feel like the syntax is wrong because I'm used to having them touching. But in my mind, it would be something like this. And I would just jump right into another for loop and do variable j, which equals, it starts at p. See, up here? So it could start at 2, and then it would iterate j less than why is I and length all awful? Raise your hand if you can figure that one out, because I know I can't. That's really odd. Oh, you know what? It's because of this. I didn't have a semicolon. Ta-da! There we go. Crazy Steven problems, that's all. Clueless developer issues. Me and my party of one. This will be... I think it's going to be its own beast. That's the other thing. I don't think we need the array length of anything. What do we need? Maybe we do the array length I. So for each variable... No. For each element that I is 6, 9, then 5. For each one of those, and for the following for loop, we will have I to the power level of j, which will increment. It's going to start at p on the first round, and then it will go up by 1, j plus plus. My issue is here. What does it need to reach? I think it's digital array I dot length. Seems kind of excessive because it's just one character, so I feel like I could just do digital array. Not digital. I don't know why I want to keep saying digital. Digit. You know what? Screw it. Digit array I dot length. Screw them. They don't like it. That noise. That's their problem, right? This is our nightmare, and we can fail however we want to. Length. I feel like it makes sense in my mind. Anyways, so from here... See, and then digit sum, we could do push. We could do that to get each one. Maybe. Super death. Damn. Damn. The other alternative is to... multiply? Sum. The product. We're hunting for the product. The other option is to total them all. Plus equals, times equals, plus equals. What were they doing? They were adding them. Plus equals. I wonder if we want them separate or together. Oh, that seems bad. We totally pissed him off that time. It did run sample tests, and it's just totally locked up everything. Not a good move on Steven's part. Not a good move. So I probably should have left the array or a string, something like that, something to hold the number, instead of just releasing the beast like that. Yeah, that was dumb. Well, super death. What would I do from here? I feel like I should Google our issue. I think Google may provide insight. Look at this. A to the power of blank. A to the power of blah. We had our string, it's split. We have our whole digit array. We had 8 separate from 9. We were taking the first one, digit array I, and we were powering up them by p. P needed to increment by 1, so just have it start at p. I don't know, in my mind, this part makes sense. The issue that bothers me, though, is the order of it. Oh, that doesn't return jack because there's no curly braces, you stain. Kind of vulgar. Let's try this again. I don't know how I feel about the plus equals. If it blows up in our face, so be it. For all that. For all this. Digital nonsense. Dot push. Yeah. Cool. So select all. Copy. Reset. Ta-da. Why? Why are they still pissed? Run sample test. Variable digit sum. Run sample test. Expected blankety blank got blank. Alright, now we can try plus equals. Possibly? Yeah, no, it hates that too. How fascinating. Oh my god, it actually thought it through. So... what are we looking for right now? If we did dot push and we were only doing I, this, if we were only pushing I through, despite the J loop, why is it pushing nothing over? Let's cut that. Oh, death in a box. We hit copy. Digit array. No, digit sum dot push followed by digit array I, comment that noise out, comment this noise out, run that. 8 and 9. Okay, so we are successfully passing those through. So, digit sum is taking one at a time. We want to take I digit I dot length what can we do from here? Copy, paste, 2 to J. We don't want to map this. No, do we want to map this now? This is such a fucking nightmare. Maybe we want to map the loop on top of it. I feel like we don't even need this one here. For J equals P. That makes perfectly fine sense in my mind. What about J? What if we did J? What if we push J through? What happens here? For each I, so for each index in digital array, there will be another for loop that occurs that starts with P, and it will go up by 1. So P would be 1, and then it will continue to push those for each I. So I think we're going to end up with all the exponents if we push this. I just want to make sure that we're pushing something. Why does it return nothing? Those slimy, soulless sons of God, unfed mouth, spineless sacks of right, left, those. Steaming bowl of dog feces. Alright. Let's do. What happens when we do IJ? Maybe that'll appease the JavaScript gods. Those whiny fucking bastards. Still nothing. I hate everything about these for loops. What could be missing? Why doesn't it want to start at P? It's because we're printing to effectively nothing. We're going to have to Google it. We're going to have to Google it. Bad times, man. Bad times. We are so close yet so far away. We have our A's. A, B, C, and D. We're looping through our array of numbers. We've got that down. We have a second loop to loop through the power levels, P, and then P plus 1 accordingly, with our J in, starting on P, and it'll loop through, but our logic is hilariously broken for some reason. Hey, Zartuo, how are you doing? Hopefully your day/evening is going well. We are in the middle of somewhat nightmarish Kada. It's actually fairly straightforward. Something's not clicking. I think it's because it's 12:45 a.m. in the morning, and everything's terrible at 12:45 a.m. in the morning. So it's probably a combination of that and just some general confusion on my part. But yeah, aside from all the terribleness, everything's fucking awesome. So there's that bit. We're so close. We're so close yet so far. For the second for loop, we do need to map. Or we could map something. But we tried that before. Mapping everything with P. Map everything with P. To do what? Can I map inside of a for loop, though? For each letter, I want to map shit to it. I want to do digital array I dot map function digit and we would map digit power level P. We're going to map that to each one. P plus something P. P plus J. Hold on. My tiny brain can barely fathom this as I'm slowly piecing this nightmare together. But this needs to be below this loop. Because instead of starting our first for loop, variable I equals 0, that means it's starting at the beginning of the array that we get, 4, 6, 2, 8, 8, or 6, 9, 5. But our second for loop for variable j, which will be the +1, the power level +2, and 3, it iterates up by 1, we're starting it with P, the power level that they're given, 1, 1, 2, or 3, just like how it's 4 to the power level 3, then +1 to 4, and then 5. So this digit map, do I put the for loop, copy, does it go above the map function? Like so? Or does it go inside of the map function. Like so. That's a toughie. Well, it still turns blue, so here's the map function. It lets us set up a for loop. I guess that works. I mean, it is still, in fact, blue. I just didn't think I could do that. If I get that, it also turned blue. Double for loops. I think I'm supposed to have them split. The first for loop, then set up the map functionality, and then inside the map, set up the for loop, and then dump out this. Now, I don't know if I'm supposed to push all of this, or if I'm supposed to do plus equals for digit sum. LRIC power operator is plus. Oh, is that so? Is that so? That little up arrow thing is just a bunch of crap. That's a bunch of nonsense. Is this not helping anybody? Is it supposed to be 2? Is that what's R2? Maybe? I don't know. Let me try falling on my face once more. See how that goes. I do need to fix the syntax. My god, this is... Oh, it's binary for extended OR. Okay. Cool. Should I be utilizing that? We'll worry about that in a bit. Something about fixing the syntax of the problem at hand. Let's get rid of this. So we've got one for loop here. We have another for loop here. And we have our sum below. We have our opening curly braces for said for loop. We have our map function, which I don't think we need this. This isn't helping anybody, is it? I don't believe so. How many things do we have? We've got one for loop, which needs one closing tag. We've got our second map function, which has its own beast here, and then we have a for loop, which will have its own closing issues as well. And I believe this is actually the map function. Because it opens, yeah, it has the opening curly brace, the closing curly brace, the closing parentheses, and the semicolon. That's how it should look. Okay, we can collapse that. 1 and 2 and 3. I don't know if we're going to keep plus equals or if we're supposed to push it. We're going to try super death. Let's just try plus equals for shits and giggles, right? How terrible can this... We've already fallen down the rabbit hole. Digital array i.map is not a function. Mother's not a function. Dot push Knew we couldn't do a for loop inside of a map function. Death. Cut. And yeah, one of these. We'll tab that over, get rid of this excess, bump it up a line. How about that? 2 for loops with the map function, pushing that noise to the map. Hey, no more errors. Kinda cool. Something's still off. They're still pissed. I think it's the fact that it's P plus J. That's definitely an issue I'm having. So P plus J. I feel like it should still be returning stuff. Let's try the binary, the power level as 020. No, it did. Oh, they're pissed. They are pissed. They are not pleased with that at all. Although there's like a 97% chance that I implemented it incorrectly. Let's also try one of these once more. Yeah, frustration. That's hot. So let's Google how to get out of this rock and hard place, shall we? I think we're in due time in need of that. It's been 57 minutes of just general frustration, pain, being lost. Given a positive integer, n written as ABC, d being digits, and a positive integer, p, we want to find a positive integer k if it exists, such as the sum of the digits of n taken into the successive power of p is equal to k. In other words, is there an integer such k is a to the power of p plus b to the power of p plus 1, c to the power of p plus 2, d to the power of p plus 3, blah, 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 blah. Is that equivalent to n to the power of k? If it is the case, we will return k. If not, return -1. Note n and p will always be given as strictly positive integers. Given a positive integer, a positive blank, we want to find the positive integer if it exists. Let's try this. Copy. Super death. And this is how it ends. CODEWARS GitHub accepted. Nice. Stack Overflow. Replit. Now, after suffering for oh so long, what did they end up doing? Some numbers have funny properties. Blank, blankety blank. Lots of numbers. If there's an integer, such as k, if the case will return, and in p, some interesting stuff should happen. So, 2 something 2 is, this is just awful. I'm telling you, they don't make cliffs high enough to fall off of for this CADA. I don't think there's a cliff high enough to separate enough space between me and this CADA on the face of this planet. In fact, I don't think any planet in our immediate solar system has enough space between me and this CODA to fulfill our needs. This is just awful. Although, why theirs seems so succinct. New n, string n. What the hell did that do? Oh, it turns it into a string? That's what's happening? String n? Maybe, probably. Total is 0 for I in new n. Total plus equals power n I p, p plus 1. If total modulo n is equivalent to 0, return total, else return negative 1. If name is equivalent to main, who's this helping? This is helping nobody. It's very straightforward, but it just makes me sad to look at. Mistakes. There are a few problems in your code. It got 1 vote. Fixed code. I fixed those mistakes and updated your code. Variable summary equals 0. So clearly, my summary, that's what that needs to be. So my digital sum should actually be 0, not an array. I think. Although there's my array. Who knows if that's helpful. And a holder. N. Oh god, what's going down? Narcos bot. Fun. Hey everyone, bot was created by Narcos Gaming. Ah, yes. Although as I look at that, the exclamation dick after stupid JavaScript, all I can think of is the exclamation to make things not. So I read it as not dick, thanks to JavaScript syntax for the comparators, because the exclamation puts male sausage into Narcos Gaming. That sounds like a lot of self-inflicted fleshy issues there. And it also gives the time. Quite the versatile bot you have there. A bot of many trades. Currently 12:59 a.m. Is it really now 1 o'clock? Is that why everything hurts? It's 1:02. This noise. 12:59 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time on a Monday. And it's Monday. That's why it's extra terrible right now. August 28th, 2018. Narcos Gaming. BDX saying, sorry about that. No problem. Just making sure it was gonna work. Hell yeah. I'm glad it worked. We needed that. I'm not sure why we needed that, or if we actually needed it, but the fact that you're able to test it out here makes me feel good. You feel free to test any coding or whatever you want in here. We are here for you and others. So you do your thing, Narcos. You do your thing. Because soon we're going to do ours. Ours is slightly different. It's going to be us throwing the computer against the wall and then just going to sleep. That's what I want to get to. Fix the code. Function dig pow n and p. So sum equals 0. And then they set up my array, ready and waiting to receive, as an empty array, and holder n. So they've got their for loop. For variable I, n.toString length -1. That's really weird out of the gates. So the whole string of n, the whole digit of n becomes a string, and then they're returning the length on it, -1. So that's what I equals. And then they're doing I greater than or 0, and then from here they are subtracting one digit off of another as they work their way down. My array I holder 10%. Modulo 10? Base 10. I don't even know what I'm looking at, dude. This is awful. Narcos, does your bot have like a calculator function? That'd be super fucking awesome if it did. Exclamation this equation. That's the bot I want to see. Math.pow. My array I p plus I sum something. Like, I understand they're making sense. This part makes sense. If the sum modulo n doesn't equal 0, then return sum divided by n, else return -1. That's straightforward. This is just awful. Trunk? We're not truncating anything. No one wants to truncate stuff at 1 a.m. on a Monday. Hold the phone. This is more straightforward, and this is what Zertuo was saying. Zertuo? Zertuo. You know what? I just realized that we're probably reading their username extremely American, for lack of a better phrase. It's probably just Zartu. I don't think there's a need to enunciate the O at the end. Maybe, but probably not. Let's go with Zartu. Do I enunciate the O at the end? Is it Zartu or Zartu-O? Sorry, it's 1 a.m. I'm losing all functionality. Oh god, we can't speak. This is it. This is where delirium really kicks in. I'm losing all functionality to speak and think. We're so close to finding stuff. I'm undecided on it myself. God damn it. I was trying to figure out your name issue because I can't figure out this issue, the task at hand, so I'm looking for new problems to solve. Alright, this does look promising, because their for loop doesn't look lame, and it does have Zertuo's recommendation of the asterisk to pull off the, whatchamacallit. Son of a bitch, we're forgetting these words. The exponent, the power level. There we go, the power level. So their recommendation was variable numbers n2 string dot split, which is exactly what we have in the meantime right now. Digit array n2 string to split. Already a great sign when we find code similar to ours. Someone with the same mindset, which means chances are we'll be able to understand their solution. Critical for someone who's absolutely crazy like myself. Let's clear out a lot of this noise. A lot of this just pissed us off, so this is better. Sum equals 0. I get the feeling this should be a 0 after seeing that a couple times now on a few of the other answers, even the ones I didn't understand. For variable I equals 0, I numbers dot length, I++, we also have the exact same thing. Not so much numbers, but digit array, blankety blankety blank, and now this is the good stuff where it starts getting interesting. Variable number equals I. Why? Variable numbers dot length, and number equals I. So they're turning each one into an individual thing? Oh, look at this. Hold the phone. That's so goddamn clever. Look at this. This is fascinating. This is another for loop where they're doing two things at once again. Oh my god, that's awesome. Alright, so here they've got their for loop. I starts at 0, right? And then it's going the length of the numbers, and it's incrementing by 1, I++. So this is cool. This is the clever part. Right here, variable number, it'd be just like if they set up something variable number out here, but by having it inside, variable number is equivalent to whatever the number is at I, that spot. So if it's the 0 index, it'll be the first number, like 4. Or when it's 1, blah, blah, blah. You get it. You know how numbers work. So anyways, from there, though, so that's setting up number here. The number we're doing will be number, right? Right? So now they're going to set up sum, which is 0 on the outside, and then it's number, which we just established here beforehand, and that frees up the I to be used as the exponent to increase it by 1. Oh my god, this person, they deserve a fucking cookie the size of Alaska. That's what they need. Yeah, hashtag cookie love, right? That is impressive. I just see this, that feels wrong. That's not an instinctive thing. I'm going to double up on what the code does. So cool, though. That is awesome. Concise, beautiful. And now they can go directly into the if statement, which is sum modulo n equivalent to 0. And at that point, variable k would be sum divided by n. And then we would return k. Else, simply return 1. Oh my god, I mean, it's this part right here, though. This is the key to all of it. The fact that they set up the other variable inside. That's who I want to be. This is the guy that I want to be one day. Or gal, or robot, whatever they were, whoever they are. Ninsutabo? Yeah, a hat tip to them. They have no idea that they just saved us. Okay, so we don't need our second for loop, which means we can get rid of this closing parameter. We can get rid of the extra bits for... Well, let's just get rid of a lot of this noise. No. Leave that midsection. We will call our variable digit, because we can. Variable dig. Yep. Deal with it. Equals digarray I semicolon, and from there get rid of that noise. Dig sum will plus equals the 0. We can get rid of that. Asterisk, asterisk. P and I. Oh, that is so fucking cool. I am telling you. I mean, it's probably because it's 1 a.m. and everything hurts for why I think that's so freaking awesome, but nevertheless, pretty cool in my book. And you know what? I think all we need is one curly brace for a for loop, because everything's awesome that way. That is just fantastic. That is just so goddamn cool. And we were starting to work on our if loop earlier, which we got deterred from. So we were on the right path. Sum. You know what? And it was modulo n. That was the difference. That's what we were looking for. Instead of multiplying stuff and getting it to equal all that noise. modulo n, 1, 2, 3, 0, followed by some good times with an else, and some other curly braces. There should be a return involved. And we can just get rid of that. Return. And one was return -1. Or something to that effect. Yes, variable k equals sum divided by n. Return k. Variable k equals sum divided by n. Variable k equals dig sum divided by n. Return k. I think we're mostly good right now. Look at that. That is so cool, though. The digit thing. The fact that you can double up. No one else is impressed by that. I'm impressed by that. Although I'm a blithering idiot, so what do I know? We missed something. Something is off by just a hair. Number sum PIN blankety blankety blank. I wonder, maybe it is that. There we go. Now, there was an issue with something we have here, elsing. Something is off. -1 blankety blankety blank. What could I have missed? Let's try checking it out. I mean, there's the potential that he got it wrong, which would really suck. Copy. Input? Oh, close. Run. Yeah, undefined. I'm assuming that's good. Could be bad. Really can't tell. 251, -1. Yeah, maybe. Let's pretend that's exactly what we want. Here's this. Let's comment this stuff out just to test their function works. Oh, this nightmare never ends. Run test. Yes, the stuff and such. Run simple. Well, damn. Hey, Yum Yum. Hey, Yum Yum. How are you doing there? It shows as the same like blue font on my phone for your username as Zartuo. We're so close. We have, that was theirs. This is ours. I mean, it makes sense in my mind. This case, return k -1. We are so... I feel like we're so close. I mean, all of this now makes sense in my mind, but that probably doesn't mean anything because that's how we got here in the first place. Function POW. So we're going through, let's say it's 695, and the power levels start with 2. So 695, variable numbers, 695 comes in as a digit, it becomes a string, so in quotes, 695, then we're splitting it, ends up as an array of 6, 9, 5. Each technically is its own string / element of the array. We have sum set to 0. Is that my issue? No, I've got digital sum. Yeah, that's weird. Alright, so sum set to 0. For variable I in the array, it's going to start at 0. So for 695, it start at 6 at the beginning of the array. I less than length, the length of number array, I plus plus. Variable number will equal the current number at hand. So numbers I, and then we will do sum plus equals, which is what I have, sum plus equals number power level P wherever it starts, which is what they're providing as the second parameter. So it's 2 for us. So 2 plus I starts at 0, 2 plus 0 for the first loop, then plus 1 for the following. So that's 2 for the first. Power level would be 3 for the 9. Okay, so that checks out. That's fine. So from there, if the sum of all of that noise plus equals all of this, so it should come out to, what is that, 695 with all the power levels, 1390, should be 1390, modulo n should be 0, sum 1390 divided by n. If it goes in evenly, return a 0. No. If it goes in evenly, not return a 0. If it goes in evenly, then variable k should be equal to the sum divided by n, and then we would be returning k, which is whatever that number is. Else, return -1 if it's a colossal failure. This seems to make sense in my minds. I don't know why it doesn't like it. The only thing I can think of is that 3 equal signs versus 2? No, not that at all. Not even close. Back to 3. Why would it not like that? And which one is it returning a test for? Oh, it's the -1. If blankety blankety blank, k would be sum divided by n, return k, else return -1. Bastards. You know what? Maybe that goes outside the else. Would that solve our problems? I don't necessarily think it would, but in my mind, it's worth a shot. return -1, run sample test. Yeah, no, that was dumb. That was dumb. That was my bad. Shot in the dark. Shot in the dark. What about if we put a 2 here, just to make sure I'm not crazy? Yeah, instead it got 2s across the fucking board. So, why is it doing that? Why is it always returning 2? What could possibly be the cause? Return K. Else run sample test. Undefined. Why is that undefined? Maybe it's the math portion here. Sum n. You know what? What if it's the test button that's broken again? We've encountered that a couple times already in just level 6 alone. What if there's actually no issue with any of this stuff? Who wants to bet? Let's try run that. Let's try attempt. Damn. Soulless mother of sack of... Return sum. What about... 2845. Is it the syntax? I don't think it's the syntax. Variables. Each has its semicolon. For variable I less than digit array, I++, open curly brace, closing curly brace. Variable dig will equal, variable digit will equal digit array I. Digital sum will be plus equals the current digit, power level of P plus I. If digit sum modulo n is equivalent to 0, then variable k will equal digit sum divided by n. And from there, maybe return k needs to be on another line, else return 1? Super death. Why? Else if return if variable k. Maybe k needs to be on the outside. Maybe if statements can only deal with variables outside of their scope. Maybe. Let's try that. Variable k, copy, cut, variable k will equal sum divided by n. If sum modulo n, then return k. Fuckers. What if I tell it to get rid of this and just return k? Return k. Oh, it's the math. They had an issue. So I shouldn't have trusted all their... Was it a simple calculation error on their part? Should it have been n divided by k? Because look at that. That's a whole... And it's 1 in the morning. I never would have pieced that together. Maybe it's n divided by sum. Now, those aren't right either. Something's off. Maybe it was their math? What if we were to push? I kind of just want to test. Push. Numbers. Sum dot push. Return sum. Return sum. Sum dot push can't be a thing. Oh, right. Sum. Run. 9, 11. Okay, I can live with that. So 8 to the power of 1 is, I think, 9. This is getting weird. Wait, Zartuo, that'd be interesting. I think I got this. Really? Isn't the exponential operator asterisk axis? I mentioned that earlier. Also, okay. I don't know, they were giving me shit earlier for having... They wouldn't let me run it before. It was giving me all this error nonsense. So now I'm just trying to break the code to figure out what the fuck is going on. Let me just comment out this noise. Well, let me go back, because this is easier to deal with. Copy. Okay, so from line 21 to 35, let's try and address this, and then I'll go back and correct my codes from 2 to 18. So what is the issue in the meantime? See, I get this output error. Sum plus equals number, asterisk, asterisk. They don't really appreciate that. Maybe if I do attempt? No, yeah, they still don't like it. So that's why. Plus, I was simply following the instructions, the guide. The example questions they had, we're using that. Now maybe that's just shorthand or easier to pen than the double asterisks. I just feel like that's odd. It makes sense why there were so many that were that had answers like this instead of the vertical caret. The other thing is blankety blankety blank equals n times k. We should just be doing that. If sum is equivalent, if sum is equivalent to n times k, this can be pulled out, cut, variable k will be the sum divided by n. K, sum is equivalent to n divided by k, return k, else, run sample. See, what is this nonsense? Expected a single thing. Run sample. So confusing. JavaScript. Do I have to do math.pow? Do I literally need like math.pow to do it? Because I'm ready to light the house on fire. Who wants to bet that I have to do that? I think it's going to be some hilariously convoluted solution. Zartuo, maybe they run a very old version of JavaScript that doesn't support it. Maybe that would suck a bag of tips, but death. I don't even want to Google the solution. Syntactically, as far as the code goes, I believe, I mean, this is weird now that I've kind of messed it up a little, but I think what they have is essentially correct. This makes sense to me in my mind. I do think it has to do with whatever code they're testing it on in the back end. How old is that? Well, we'll worry about playing with digits later, but let's do this. New tab, math.javascript power level. Exponential, exponents, JavaScript, exponents, exponential. Let's just see. Yeah, exponential. JavaScript exponential. Let's figure out whatever shows up. Math.pow. First one. Oh, that's really gonna suck. Really gonna suck. 7249, blankety blank, blankety blank. So in a perfect world, we would do the base number, which would be which would be something. Let me copy this back over. Copy. Here's that. It would be, so the base number and then the actual exponent. So here, math.pow would be number, comma, p plus I, and math.pow. God, I really hope that's not it. I mean, yes, I want it to be it, but that's gonna suck if that's it. Math.pow, number, pi. Let's see what that gets us. Okay. Oh, I hit 0 instead of the shift key. Oh, my God. We did it. We did it. We figured out the storm. We figured out the puzzle. We don't need to go out and light the city on fire. Oh my God. We survived. I want to celebrate more, but I don't have the physical strength to give a damn. We're so far past delirium. I wonder how many other people give up and just throw in the towel and throw their computers out the window at that point. I mean, that was, you know what, they probably would have solved the issue faster. They probably would have done, one, they probably would have solved it another way, and two, they probably would have tried other alternatives of solving it faster than we did. But that was an hour and 42 minutes of sheer hell. Technically, 1 hour, 42 minutes, and 34 seconds as of right now. We survived. Holy hell. Let's go ahead and try the official version. Attempt. Cool, cool. But hold on. Hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take this, copy, and put that noise into this. And really, you know what, screw the copy. Math.pow dig pi, not dig, but digit. And let's get rid of this. Oh, that's how I like to spend my Sunday nights. Just like this. Suffering, struggling, slowly figuring out crappy code. Oh, death. It's not even the code that was crappy, it's whatever their tests were running. So something's missing in this bit, and I don't know if I have the mental capacity to piece together the nightmare on what the shortcomings are. Oh, it was the if statement that I totally over. Was the if statement that I obliterated? Digit sum. Digit sum. Now, what happened differently there? Super death. I can't even pinpoint what's wrong in my code for all my variables. All I know is that math.pow works down here. Alright, so thank God. At least we figured out the solution regarding the base code and the fact that the nightmare was really surrounded by math.pow. Run sample. Oh, that was brutal. Okay, good times. Let's go ahead and see. We're just going to submit that as official. Oh, there's an XOR in there. Is that what it was? Oh, you're right. You're right. Math.pow. Good eyes. Good eyes. Zartuo. You got it. Let's give it one more shot. I mean, we've made it this far. Might as well, right? Okay. Comment that out. Comment this out. Once more. Run sample test. Oh, you're right. It was the comma. We're so far past into delirium. Oh, we did it. Thank God. Probably comma. Zatoro, you were right. It was the comma, not the X or the asterisk. An attempt. Thank God. It only took the 9 of us to figure this out. I actually have no idea how many people there are, but it feels like we needed an army to piece this together. Math.pow. Can you believe it? Who the would set it up so the test cases use math.pow? I mean, my God. Don't they know that they're idiots trying to pull this off? Attempt once more. Green check marks across the board. Finally. It was a team effort, everyone. Thank you so much for all of your assistance. The house still stands. The house lives another day without being burnt down. 239 days without arson. Self-inflicted arson. Okay, so let's see what the cool kids had to write. Function dig pow n, variable x, string n split, reduce, SDI. No idea what's happening. Lambda s plus math.pow. Of course, they figured out to use math.pow. Probably didn't take them an hour and 40 minutes to come to terms with that. D plus pi 0. Somewhat similar to what we're doing. Their return statement looks stupid, in my opinion, but that's because they're using a ternary statement. Not that I have an issue with that, just the fact that they used their weird, arrowy stuff. Is reduce really is the right answer. I feel like that probably would have saved us about 45 minutes if we were to have just used reduce ourselves. Variable answers plus n. The string plus n dot split. They're just so much more clever than me. I don't know what I'm looking at. There's a lot of pluses involved, a lot of sadness and confusion, but we survived. Math.pow. It took us forever to come to terms with that. Here, this is more our speed. Variable num 1 2 string. Variable num p 2 string. Wow, they even took the time to convert the power level to a string. Good on them. Variable I num1 dot length. Interesting that they committed. Oh, num1 dot length. Yes. Okay. Sum equals sum plus math.pow parse int. Clever. And they were able to use character at p plus plus sum modulo n 0 return sum divided by n. Not bad. Well, we made it out alive. It was brutal. It was not pretty. But we did succeed. Thank you again to Zartuo and Yum Yum for keeping us together, keeping us on track. Oh, it got really, really scary there at the end. Not gonna lie. Let's go ahead and close out of these tabs. Check out our profile. Black Lotus Agent. Hi, man. Hello to you, Black Lotus. How are you doing this evening? Our stream/nightmare is coming to an end. We are now 56% of the way through level 6 here at Code Wars. Position 40,000. Inching our way to the top yet again. Let's go ahead and back out of this into Code Academy. Day 239 comes to a painful conclusion. Although it was a successful one, I just wish it didn't take an hour and 42 minutes to realize that math.pow was the key we needed. Damn. Black Lotus. Pretty bad this day. Not exactly great. I was hoping to get from someone experienced. Oh, well, let me save you an hour and 45 minutes of not having to suffer through my stream. I highly recommend checking in with someone else who is far more experienced than I. I've got 239 days of painful, helpful tips that I could recommend, but none of those are probably helpful to anyone else on this trail. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. Don't ask me. That's about as helpful of a tip as I can think of, unless you're starting at square one. But chances are you're not at square one. So, good times though. Good times. I hope you are able to resolve. What if... Oh, you're a new programmer. Dare I ask what is your issue? And or curiosity, concern? We can give it a shot with our last breath. I'd like to note that it is... Dear God, 1:52 a.m. Time does not stop ever. That's what I've noticed. We are deep into delirium, so our answers could be highly questionable. But yeah, if you got issues, we got... Well, I don't know what we've got, but hopefully we've got something that can assist you. I'm building this WordPress site, and I can't make an inline login form. As far as my experience with WordPress goes, I haven't ever used the full-fledged version. I have, in fact, we can show, because frankly it's hideous. So we've got... I've only used the free online version of WordPress. I haven't done the paid-for downloadable version that you can install onto either a server or a computer. Where the hell? I know I'm looking at it. It's the second one. That goes to show how often I use WordPress. It's the second bookmark I have, and I don't even know where to find it. Yeah, not pretty. So implementing the login functions, I believe that's a feature that I don't actually have access to with the free version. My pro tip, start with the free version, but I don't think that's going to solve your issue. Site preview. Yes, it's good. Preview stuff. Yeah, look at that. Questionable, right? Questionable. That's what I used to describe it. Yeah, little kitty. Doing her thing. The destroyer of worlds. Fortunately, she's been somewhere else. She's sleeping at the far side of the bed. Something about something. New programmer building this WordPress site, and I can't make an inline login form. To make an inline Zartuo, to make an inline login form, you simply inline the form with CSS or get a plugin module that already does that. Black Lotus Agent, I want to put the inline login form into the header or just below it, like on Facebook. Fascinating. I'm as much of a noob programmer as you might be. I am even more so of a noob programmer. because I keep hitting the reset button on my programming progress, because I've gone through Code Academy and Code Wars and Free Code Camp, and every time I learn a little bit at Code Academy, I learn multiple languages. So I learned the basics of HTML and CSS, hit the reset button, jumped over to JavaScript, hit the reset button, jumped over to CSS and Sass, did a little React, all square one, square zero stuff. So I never made it very far down the list. I started a bunch of languages. Code Wars is the only place where I've actually made some substantial progress regarding any one particular language, because I've tried to stick to JavaScript only. Thus, I only have one language showing up here on Code Wars, and then at Free Code Camp, it starts from square one all over again as well, which is what I did. So I've only completed the basic stuff. I'm just now starting to chip away at the intermediate things. So I'm a master level noob, if you will. I'm a veteran noob, but noob to the fullest extent of the definition. Borderline clueless, especially 1 a.m. No, 2 a.m. My bad. 1:56. I would listen to Zertuo and any and all handy guides online. But sadly, I'm of no use for your predicament. Best of luck, though. It does tie back to what I said. So technically, that still holds water. Alright, we closed out of all of that stuff. Thanks for the help. Well, I believe in you. That's about as I can provide support. The programming, that's one thing I can verify. After 239 days, programming community on Twitch is awesome, and I guarantee you someone else can help you. I know I'm not that guy, but anyone else on here is awesome. Yeah, that's helpful. And you rock, Black Lotus. That's also that note. You know who else rocks? Zertuo and Yum Yum for helping me out. They were able to assist. You will find people who can assist you, Black Lotus. They are out there. I just know they're not that guy. So I save you time, letting you know to look elsewhere. Alright, we've completely lost any and all sense of sanity. Let's back out of this. Day 239 comes to an end. The nightmare continues tomorrow with day 240 on the horizon of year of streaming and learning to code. In the meantime, we are stopping the stream. Thank you again to anyone and everyone who stopped by to view the stream. Black Lotus, thanks. I'm feeling motivated now. Good, awesome. That's what we want. Thank you again to anyone and everyone who stopped by to view the stream. Big hat tip to Zertuo and Yum Yum for assisting us on our way to success for today's Kada. And in the meantime, are you sure you want to stop the stream? Hell yeah. Kill it.